Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest edition of What You've Been Missing. It's your boy K Dizzle DC, and to my right, my guy over here. Tell him who you are, baby.
Man, it's your boy Have Streams, man. Don't adjust your TV set. It is the All Dressed Up podcast. We back. Hey, Dizzle, what's good?
Hey, good morning, good afternoon. ADU episode podcast 86 is in the building. We know you missed us. We love you. We missed you too, but we are here, and I need to stop banging this so my joint can stop shaking like that.
Wow, we on episode 86, K Dizzle.
86, my guy.
We're just gonna keep rocking out. Man.
86.
We appreciate you guys joining us each and every Sunday night that we do go live on YouTube, on Facebook, on all those streaming sites. But what's good, K Dizzle? How you been, man?
Hey, I've been great. I've been fantastic. Look, before we go any further, right? Because I know I'm springing a lot on you. Okay, before we go any further, I have to bring in tonight's sponsor. We have a sponsor tonight. Okay, we have a sponsor tonight, so I have to give shouts out to tonight's sponsor. Let me go ahead and roll their ad real quick. All right.
Good time. Anytime you need a payment. Good time. Anytime you need a free. Good time. Anytime you're out from under. Not getting hassled, not getting hustled. Keeping your head above water. Making a way when you can. Temporary layoffs. Good times. Easy credit rip-offs. Good times. Scratching and surviving. Good times. Hanging in a jar. Good times. Ain't we lucky we got 'em? Good times.
Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to our first sponsors. Sponsors out there, Proud Moments.
What's good, Shotty? What's good?
We go cook. What's up, Shotty? What's going on in the building? Welcome to the podcast, man. Look, I know that our people ran that into the ground. But look, we have to talk about one of the most proud moments in Black history. We're gonna call that the Montgomery Uprising in 2023. Okay.
We're gonna call that the fuck around and find out. Olympics. I'm talking about the stock for folding chairs went up. I don't know who makes them. Is it Graco or something like that? I don't know.
I don't know.
But whoever makes those folding chairs, invest, buy your stock now. They gotta be up.
They gotta be up. And look, man, you know, everybody in the North. What's up, Adrian? Everybody in the North, all of our kinfolk in the North, you know, understand what the bat signal is now. You see the cap go in the air, you know it's on and popping. But look,
Your man flexed out, put his arms out, took his hat, and just said, "Look." And when that hat went up 50 feet, all hell broke loose.
all hell broke loose. And look, I know our people burned it into the ground. We lived and breathed it for a good 72 hours into the streets. But look, man, just know that if we see something wrong and trouble, we're gonna show up like Batman and everybody get a beat down. But look, we did drive it into the ground, right? But look, we need to talk about something that's near and dear to our hearts. And I don't know whether you want to do it now or whether you want to do it later or before or after. But let's just go ahead and get into it, man.
Man, let's get it. Man, we back, man. Go ahead and put the number up for the chat to join us live.
Oh, you're going to put it in early. 301-857-1757 to join the conversation. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything tonight. 301-857-1757. Preseason football is here. Okay. All our football fans, if you watched this last year, you know we're heavy into football. But most importantly, we're not heavy into the preseason, because the preseason, what does it mean anymore? What does it mean to you? Have is it anything for you?
Nothing at all. Nothing
Okay.
at all. It's a money grab for the owners. We know that.
Money grab from the owners. We got what is it? Depth chart 5 on there. We got practice squad players on there. Everybody's
you're not gonna make me think that these guys are gonna be playing week 1, week 2, but it's all good, man. You know, they deserve their chance. A lot of these guys might be auditioning for other teams in the practice squad, but you know, it's just the NFL.
It's the only time they get the tape going. It's the only time they really get an opportunity for the tape to get going.
Yeah.
But look, with that being said, is this is the time of the year that I usually give money away freely and willingly when people call me and ask me to do fantasy football. Because one of the things I'm not good at, okay, is fantasy football. And we just had a draft tonight in a league that have has taken my money almost in the past 4 or 5 years. Hasn't been half. I
Yeah,
mean, this is like a bad investment every year. I just
it's
give
been
my
a
money
few.
away
It's been a
freely
few
every
years,
year.
and the good thing about our fantasy league is we got divisions, and I love when randomly K Dizzle's team ends up in my division. And this year, conveniently he's in my division again. But we're not gonna dig too deep into your team or your draft, but I think you did pretty well. I don't think you did as bad as before.
I don't know. I think the only upside is I got Jalen Hurts. That's it. That's all I care
You
about.
you made sure you got a quarterback
I
that
made sure I got Jalen Hurts.
right
That's all
that
I
you
cared
that
about.
you wanted to root for the entire time. But let's talk about your fantasy team name because while I was drafting today, I had some other players over here at the present time, and they say, "Yo, hey, yo, whose team is Booty Hole Brown?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's just my man, K Dizzle, my podcast co-host extraordinaire." They say, "Yeah, I ain't gonna ask no questions about that." I say, "Yeah, don't. Let's not
Hey,
ask many questions about that." But look, you got Jalen Hurts. I like that you got Amon Ross St. Brown, Calvin Ridley. You got Dalvin Cook, the new addition for the Jets, DeAndre Swift,
why
another
they try to act like they don't know that sexy red song, man?
oh man. You
I'm
inspired
always
by
you
sexy
already
red. Are
I'm
you
always gonna
inspired
be
by sexy red K Dizzle DC?
I'm always gonna be provocative. It gets the people going. Let's go birds. That's what I'm talking about.
The
Right?
green birds, the
Bird.
shit green birds.
You're a hater and you know it, clap your hands. But look, DeAndre Swift, Jalen Hurts is a good quality pickup. Sleeper pick, and I said it when I picked it, Michael Thomas.
Yeah, but that's a sleep. That's a deep sleep. That
That's
that
a
I
60
mean,
yard pass right
if
there.
you get any type of production out of Michael Thomas for the long term, that's going to be a win. But you got to look at it like this: in a 16-man roster, right?
Hmm.
The teams are nowhere near stacked like they usually are in those
Correct.
in those 10 or 12-man leagues. You got to really look at your big three. And
Hmm.
my big three, stellar, man. I got Deshaun Watson, which I am putting a lot of faith in,
Put a lot of faith in that.
massage parlor boy. But I got AJ Brown and I got Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Whew, I solidified my receivers, man. Who's your big three? Jalen
Hmm.
Hurts, Amon Ross St. Brown, and Dalvin Cook.
My big three is Jalen Hurts. Yeah, St. Brown and
And Dalvin.
huh?
And Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook. Yeah, it's gonna be Dalvin
How
Cook.
much? How much before we get off this sports? How much is Dalvin Cook going to impede on Brees Hall's production?
Quite a bit. I think he might take RB1.
Yeah,
He might take RB1. And like I said, I took some long shots on that. I picked up Michael Thomas and I picked up Calvin Ridley.
yeah.
So
You got some good players,
I
man.
got some long shots.
I
I took.
definitely
We'll see what
saw.
happens.
I saw in this draft Brees Hall's. He slid. He
He
definitely
slid
dropped.
heavy. Slid heavy. Um, Time share with Cook.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you see
hey
that at the
Sal.
beginning, Sal. You see that at the beginning, but
Hey Sal, when we were watching Brees's positioning in the draft, like he just sat there and like Yahoo wanted you to take him early, but they weren't really reactive to the addition of Dalvin Cook.
hmm
And it's just like I just don't see him getting the amount of touches that he would need to be as effective as he was. I mean, I think the Jets are definitely going to throw the ball a lot more, but when they do run the ball, Dalvin Cook's going to get a big share of that. So I mean, we're gonna have some fun, man. Fantasy football is always fun. K Dizzle is usually a donation. I'm glad he's in my division this year because I need an easy
free
path to the
money.
chip. I need an easy path to the chip.
Free money. Okay.
All right.
Easy pass. We shall see, said the blind man. So look, um, I want to before we get into all that other that heavy stuff. We usually don't talk about that. I don't know why I put that on there, but
Yeah, you got your showrunner was popping, man. You came through with some stuff.
yeah, I mean, outside of they still fighting in Ukraine. It's going on to the 2 year anniversary. We usually don't get into politics and major stuff right there, but
It's
um,
exhausting, K Dizzle.
huh?
I mean, it's exhausting. We, like you said, we usually don't get into politics. They're still doing what they're doing with our tax money. This time through this presidency for me, not to get too deep, has been interesting, man. I don't get it. I don't know why they're sending all that money over there, but you know,
We gotta
yeah,
figure that thing out. It's costing us too much money. We'll move on to the next thing, man. Prayers to Maui fires, and prayers to Southern California for Hurricane Hillary that's
yeah.
hitting the shores right now.
For all you guys that frequent, Hawaii and have gone over there and taken advantage of the beauty of the land and the resources and everything, try to give back, man, because I know a lot of the people over there going through it. And a lot of celebrities were saying this is definitely not the time to travel over there
Hmm.
on vacation, and don't bring your families right now. So, besides that, it's a scary thought to just think that all these people lost their lives from something that had absolutely no, like they had no way to control or defend
Yeah,
themselves against that. So prayers to those lost in the tragedies of those fires in Maui in Hawaii, and
and
hopefully, we can help them out.
yeah, and prayers to those currently going through Hurricane Hillary on the West Coast. I saw some videos earlier, people out there surfing while Hurricane Hillary is coming in, which is crazy.
That's just
But
stupid.
but the
That's just plain stupid.
but the other crazy thing he's not talking about is there's a backup in the what's that canal right there? It's a big canal. It's a big port throughway port where a lot of the ships aren't able to get through because
Oh,
of the hurricane soaking up all that fresh seawater. So it's not enough water for them to get through that canal area, which is a big major seaport exchange from where ships go through, which is going to mess up logistics and everything else. They got hit by an earthquake too. That's
wow.
crazy. That's crazy. So California's going through it. It's nothing new, but it's all coming in at one time. Usually it's spread across a bunch of certain things. So, if you got friends or family in that area, just stay prayed up, send the help that you can and make sure you check in on them. They're good to go, man. So
Absolutely.
we're gonna do some serious stuff in there. Just make sure that we're staying well aware of what's going on around us. Um, but one big thing I want to talk about right now is this. Have you heard of the Fresh and Fit podcast?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Definitely heard of the Fresh and Fit podcast, part of the Manosphere, wave and all that good shit. So what say you? What they inspire you with?
So if you didn't hear about the Fresh and Fit podcast, or if you don't know what that is, you've heard of the name Andrew Tate, right? The name
Yes.
Andrew Tate is the guy who's originally a part of the Fresh and Fit podcast. And yes, the manosphere, he was really aggressive, talking about men and women and so forth. He was kind of doing this
He
thing.
was locked up in Russia, right? He just got out of
He
jail.
just got out of jail. He's been off that podcast for a minute. And so they've been doing a lot of different things on the podcast. But what they have done recently and what happened is um, YouTube has decided to demonetize them, in which
Mm.
turns off all the money, the ad revenue that they make through the podcast and through YouTube, which is a lot of freaking
They
money.
they better go to Rumble.
So, well, here's the thing: they were broadcasting on Rumble and YouTube, and part of the people that they were having on their shows, because of the controversial issues or the lies or alternative facts or whatever you want to call it in 2023, has caused YouTube to demonetize their page and then no longer making money off people watching their videos. And when we're talking about YouTube ad revenue, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars gone out of the out of the pockets of these folks. And they like, yo, this could be the end of the us. We might have to go
Yeah,
back and do something else.
there's been a wave of YouTubers kind of complaining about the demonetization that they've been facing lately. And I'm just trying to get up in there, man. Like I'm not gonna say nothing greasy like YouTube. Like let's do some things. But but yeah, like I know a lot of popular YouTubers, especially the opinionated political type YouTubers, they have a big wave on Rumble.
Hmm.
Apparently, that platform allows you to be a lot more provocative, get away with a lot more free speech. So you might see an uptick in that. So keep an eye out for that stock and that wave of entertainment coming from
But is it?
Rumble.
But the question, magic question is it free speech or look at what the ticker is? Telling lies can make you poor,
But lies,
right?
but what's true? You know, at the end of
What's
the day, everything right now that we're talking about is media positioning.
hmm
You know, every single move is a domino effect for this new wave of media.
right?
Like ever since we've been kids and growing up, we've watched and got our information the same way through the news, through the newspaper, and things of that nature. Now we got the internet with a billion platforms, and you can get your information like we always talk about from anywhere you want to go. So it's very critical to posture and position and get yourselves on these platforms to where you can say what you want to say and still get monetized because YouTube is definitely cracking down
hmm
and a lot of people are out here just telling lies like you said, just uh, talking crazy, creating narratives with their platform just to get views. And how long is that going to keep them successful? We'll see.
Well, it just pulled the rug underneath them because that money that they were counting on, the money that they were banking on, is no longer there. So you just got to be mindful that the information that you're spreading, the knowledge and information you're spreading, is accurate. And it's hard to do that when you have a statistic for every statistic. And I can sit here and say 9 out of 10 people enjoy foot rubs, but where am I getting my information on?
But you also got to think, K Dizzle,
Yeah.
when you have this type of this market, and
hmm
you go viral for being, a red pill enthusiast, and you're pro masculine, and you're the alpha male, you're the alpha alpha. Like, there's a whole separate division of people that are waiting to see you fall. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're getting all these views and you're going viral, just like Kevin Samuel did, before he passed away.
hmm
But there's a whole wave of people that are just waiting to see you fail, that are definitely, slinging mud the entire time as you're doing what you're doing. Like, Fresh and Fit is a podcast that's been making a run off of the fact that they have a lot of young women down in Miami that come up in their beautiful studio and basically do their battle of the sexes conversations, and then they just basically, I'm not gonna say shit on women, but they can easily talk these girls down who come in there, into their platform. So should they be demonetized? I don't think so. I
hmm
don't know how much as far as lies they've been telling, but you got to know where you're going to get your information from.
True. Erica says these girls that ain't that smart, and they can talk to them in any way they can.
Erica,
And there's
exactly, Erica.
there's validity into that statement because
Absolutely.
they pick them up off the street or wherever they find them, and know they're not. Most of them aren't deep enough to have that real
Come
conversation, and
on,
so.
K Dizzle. They know who they got in front of them, man. It's like it's easy picking, man. It's like playing dodgeball against 5-year-olds. It's not fair, bro.
What kind of longevity does that bring when you're putting people in bad situations in order to look stupid? How long does that kind of
And
longevity last?
it goes to your market. Like if your market's that lazy, more power to you, man. Like if people appreciate you to keep producing this content, and if they feel like it's entertaining, again, I'm not knocking them. But it only comes to a certain point to where I can tune in and keep watching the same setup with, like Erica said, the same type of, you know, I'm not gonna even take shots at these girls, but these type of women have the same type of thought process.
Hmm
They're getting these sample size collections right from Miami Beach. They're pulling them up, getting them all drunk, making them feel good, and then just talk shit, and that generates content, and whatever they think that they say is law, and that's what they kind of made their fame off of.
True, true. They do know what type of women They go after, and it's annoying. They're clowns who have a mic. A
I'm
lot of
glad. I'm,
clowns.
I'm glad that we're not clowns with a mic. You know? And
I
that's
don't
the
know. Sometimes I feel like a clown with a mic.
Hey man, look, we've been on here 86 episodes, and like I said, I'm not gonna knock fresh and fit, but you gotta stay true to yourself. And I can't keep up a facade. Like I don't know
Mhm.
about you, K Dizzy, you're my guy, but I wouldn't want us to go viral off of a facade and then have to just keep, performing up to that charade just to keep us, just to keep us current. Like I wouldn't want to do that.
Well, the issue with that goes into that is basically this: when you stay in that lane, which everybody's doing, they're going to expect you to keep that same energy, keep that same content on a consistent basis.
Right.
And if there's no value, if it brings no value to your listeners, there's no way that you can grow. And there's no way that your listeners can grow and learn anything from it and actually bring other people in. All of this is going to be reality TV all in a nutshell. Nah, hey, look, don't sell out for views. We don't even really care for views. We don't do that. We don't do it for that. We do it because we like to talk and we like to interact with you guys and like to see every point of view and the things that we're talking about. So
And really also, take in your opinions and your thoughts about what
mhm.
we talk about. Like we actually like care about what you guys think about these topics. Like we're not just sitting here coming from our point of view or perspective and just shitting on everybody and just saying what we say goes. Like it's a very diverse platform. We love for you guys to join us. That's why we put the number up each and every Sunday so you guys can talk with us because that's what it's about, man. Like I love the opportunity to talk to people about the current conversations and like you said, K Dizzle, that's what we do. And unfortunately we're not gonna sell out to go viral.
Hey, look, and you was giving me slack about giving Fancy all that airtime last week. Shout out to Fancy if she comes back to the
Hey
show.
man, man, no disrespect to Fancy, man. Fancy was having a good time. She was living life, man. If you saw that episode, Fancy came through a little turn.
Fancy was a little turned up. But look, we don't filter who we bring on. We allow them to come in and share their opinions and
And be
views.
yourself.
And if it's out of control, we're gonna shut them off real quick. But we're gonna give you a couple words in to get to the platform and say what you gotta say. And I
And
think that's the genuine part about us is that we're gonna give everybody an opportunity, a shot to see what they say. Because you learn from other people's experiences and you learn from other people's ideas and their angles on how they see life. That's the only way you can push forward uh, effectively and navigate through it. So big up the Fancy. Shout out to Fancy. We're gonna do a part two of that dating, Erica. Don't worry, we're gonna do a part two of that dating episode.
we got some big stuff coming. I mean, I know you've been working on a lot of things. I've been, grinding with my climb back series. We got that being edited, and that will be coming out most likely in the next 2 weeks. So keep an eye out for K Dizzle and Hef Stream solo content that's coming out. But we got some new shows and some new content that's coming that I'm excited about.
Hey, really quick, talk about that Climbback series.
All right, so the climb back series is something that I came up with because I had an opportunity to meet some people who really went through some tough times. I really were inspired by these guys because some of the things that they went through to see where they are now, I just couldn't believe, how great they're doing. And to be able to document and let them tell their story on this series is a great thing because I mean when you hear them, some of these guys did 10 years of incarceration, lost family members through that time, and still found a way to come out and, chase their goals and dreams. So I'm really looking forward to see who finds inspiration from this project. I'm definitely inspired and I can't wait to share it with you guys. So stay tuned for the Climb Back series,
I
man.
got a little I got a little inside track on that, and it's hella dope. So I'm excited about it too. Sal says, rumor has it we got some special
Yeah,
guests
we would
coming
definitely we will show enough said some love, man. Enough said podcast. Talk about my guys, man. I love my man Sal, Mike, Jermaine, Dre. You guys definitely do a great job on your platform. We're gonna talk about the NFL next week, so man, stay tuned.
in. Sal's the worst Eagles fan I've ever met in my life.
Oh
I'm gonna
man,
say that.
I
What's the
love
worst
Sal
Eagles fan?
because he makes me feel like he's talking for me about
Oh
your
my God, he's the worst Eagle fan I've ever met in my life. I don't even know. I don't even know if he's a real Eagles fan. I don't even know why he says that.
He said y'all are gonna win 10 games this
10
year.
games, bro. I can't do it.
He
We
ran
spent
off
2.5 hours. We
ran
spent
off
an extra hour arguing that last night. So I don't even. I can't
he
even.
ran off L's. He was like, yeah, that's a loss. Loss. That's a loss. Yeah, oh yeah, the Eagles are losing that one too.
Trash, bro. Trash. Trash. So look, you want to dig right into this, and I'll be honest with you, right? Because when we did the showrunner, yeah, sad Sal. When we did the showrunner, what I put in there is actually, um, what I am probably am still gonna do a YouTube video on. It's
Okay.
important. I think, when you read it, what did you think when you read it?
I thought it was like, wow, like this is something that we can talk about for weeks.
Yeah.
Like it's a very complex topic with layers to it, but that's what we do, man. We not afraid to jump into some stuff like this. So if you want to go there,
Yep, I'm gonna go there. So let me put this out real quick. All right. Because it's important. And we don't always talk about relationship stuff. We talk about a lot of different things. And we talk about self-love, self-care, all the good things that matter in the world to help you be better. So look, when we talk about deep dive, one of the things that I always ask my question is self-sabotage the new normal. Okay. Is self-sabotage the new normal? Why do I say that? Right. Reason why I say that is because most of us aren't doing the thing that we love for in our lives right now.
and guys, if you're watching this, please share us right now because I think this is a very good
So
topic.
we're gonna, we're gonna punch ourselves in the mouth a little bit when we talk about. And the main thing was why you're not doing what you love yet. So
Right.
301-857-1757 is the topic of the conversation. Um, let me get a little bit of group interaction right now. If you are doing what you love as a profession right now, type one in the chat. If you aren't, type two in the chat. If you are, type one in the chat. If you're doing what you love right now. If you aren't, type two in the chat. Yes, two. Yes, type one. No, type two. Because this is funny. This is really funny. And this is the truth of the matter. Why you are not doing what you love yet. So we got one, we got another one. I know we got some more ones coming. If we get a two, I'll be excited as well. But look, um, I constantly ask myself the same question too. Why are you not doing what you love yet? And it comes down to three main reasons when we're talking to people, or what I hear from most people when I'm doing, having these type of conversations. The first thing that comes into mind is this, right? First one says, you think your dream is no longer practical.
Mm.
Okay. You think your dream is no longer practical. Well, what does that mean? We get older, we grow up, we get married, we have kids, we have relationships, things like that. We've created a lifestyle. We think we've created this lifestyle and we have mired ourselves with all these responsibilities now that we feel like that takes precedence over all of our passions, right? Now you view your dreams as only fantasies because we feel like I'm not able to do this because I have this and I can't do this and I have this now and I have to take care of this and that. You agree with that? You agree with that, Hef?
Absolutely. I think that's definitely one of the reasons.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons, right? Settling in the bigger scale. Thanks, Ron. Settling in the bigger scale is the truth of the matter. Okay. Um, here's the answer to this. And I'm pretty sure we probably said this on our show 30,000 times before, and we've never applied it to this Bain situation. Okay. People make time for things that matter to them. Okay. You make time for the things that matter to you and you alone. If it matters to you, then you will find the time to invest in it. If you want to see an example, you're looking at one right now. You're looking at me, you're looking at Hef, you look at you guys, and we appreciate it because you've invested the time to come in and watch the show and see what we're talking about. Because we're either feeding you and giving good information or knowledge, or we're stimulating you with good conversation that's actually helping you grow and look at things in a different manner. You got to carve out of your schedule moments where you immerse yourself in the things that feed your soul and make you happy, right? If you want to really do it, you're going to find the time to do it. We find ways to get to the bar, we find ways to go to the game, we find ways to go out to the club. We make sure we put those in our schedule to do those certain things. Why aren't we finding time to start following more of our passions and more of our dreams? True.
I mean, the one thing that I can honestly say for myself is I put a lot of pressure on myself when it comes to following my goals and my dreams and my aspirations,
Hmm.
because if I don't see growth over a certain amount of time that I set for myself, I start to like really try to like figure out what's going on.
Hmm.
And I set some goals recently for myself, and I'm gonna make it personal and share it with you guys. Like, I was basically focusing on sobriety,
Hmm.
like not drinking, not smoking, and I was like, I wanted to go ahead and do a 30-day challenge. So, just right then and there, it was a decision that I made for myself to say, there's a reason why I don't want to do those substances for 30 days so I can get the best of myself, right? And Arizona says, fact, follow your dreams, because I definitely got dreams of sniffing Tracy Ellis Ross's chair, and I'm going to do it. Shout out to Arizona,
Shout
man.
out to Arizona, Ron.
I hope you
Get that
can.
chair, my
I hope
guy.
you can find that chair, my guy.
I hope you get close enough. Put your hands right there, right before you get to it. But
But
go ahead.
but I'm still sitting here smoking a J and sipping
Hmm.
on my cognac. So it's like what I need to do, in my opinion, is figure out my why.
Mm.
Like, if it's not gonna be just because I want to stop, why do I want to stop? And a lot of my friends kind of held me to my promise, and they said, when you figure out your why, that's when you'll really be able to take it to 30 days.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to talk about, but like, I got my own vices and demons and things like that, like just like everybody else does.
Right.
But I agree. Like, when I really do break down why I want to do it, I do believe that that is more important and overall the reason why I should take those steps. And I think that that can really be, you know, in the similar frame of chasing your dreams.
Hmm.
Because why wouldn't you? If it's your passion, why wouldn't we record as much content as we can?
Hmm.
Like, if we want to leave our day jobs and not type number one in the chat, but type number two, like, you gotta get out that box, and we
Yeah.
gotta focus on why we want to do it. So there's something, like, I get frustrated with myself because, like, I have all these great ideas and I want to record all these videos, but I put so much time in my main job because that's what I know. I use that to pay my bills.
Hmm.
I use that to support my lifestyle.
Right.
So until my passion can support my lifestyle, I'm gonna always make sure I give all my energy first and foremost to that main job.
Well, see, and that's what we're talking about. This is exactly what we're talking about. And hey, what's up, peace? Look, this is exactly what we're talking
Yeah,
about. So
with you.
when you're really getting into it, that's the first thing I said. You think it's no longer practical. So most of the time that we're spending, we're putting in anything, we're putting into our job or our family, or our kids, or whatever we have going on in our daily rigmarole of what we call life. So the hard part is carving out that time to actually put some energy and effort towards it, right? So we get home, we get tired. Oh, there you go. We get home, we get tired, and we get exhausted, and we use
Right,
that tired time as an excuse to lay out, watch a TV, watch our episodes, or binge watch some Netflix series, when we can take literally just another 30 minutes or an hour and start focusing and get started on what we really want to do and start putting our passions together. And so that's a big difference, because when you talk about doing the things that you love, you have to start being a little more intentional about the things a little more, and it's going to require a little more sacrifice, and it's
Absolutely.
going to require a little more effort on our behalves to start pushing in towards that. And the last thing you want to do is really put the um, extra pressure on yourself because you don't see the progress that you think you should see. Okay. Life comes one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. So, whatever time that you put towards it, it's a process. You just got to get better at being consistent about doing it. One thing we are 100% consistent on is getting up and going to work. Why? Because we know we need that in order to pay our bills and sustain our lifestyle. Why can't we put that same focus into the things that we know we love to do?
Imagine if you were able to make that decision waking up to where it's like, okay, great, you don't have to work today, but if you choose to pursue your passion, you can still afford all your bills and your lifestyle. Like I think a lot of people would take that path.
A lot of people take that, but the problem is, in order to get there, you got to make a commitment now.
And you
You
gotta
got to make a
be
different commitment now.
you gotta not be afraid.
And you got to not be afraid. And the biggest thing is making a commitment right now to get to that spot. I literally watch people on YouTube and on Twitch, on Twitter, on X, Instagram. I watch them grow, and I watch them be consistent, and I watch them do those things that I want to do, that I want to follow through and be a part of. And you can watch them all you want, but until you start and be consistent with your own, it's still going to
But,
be,
but, but you
things
know,
that you think is no longer practical.
but that's why I'm proud that we're on episode 86.
Hell
And
yeah.
not to like, toot my own horn or praise us too much, but like, this is something to be proud of, man. Like
Mhm,
we've produced enough content to look back on where we got at least 86 hours of great conversation about,
mhm.
some good topics, man. And we got a lot more where that comes from. So I'm proud of what we do.
Yeah,
And that's the thing, like if you got that passion, just keep going. Like keep recording, keep singing, keep dancing, keep rapping. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like keep streaming your video game. Like do it for you. Don't do it for anybody else.
for sure. And so look, we already talked about the first thing is you think your dream is no longer practical. You just got to make time for what matters to you most and cut out some time and be consistent with it. The second reason, shout out to Shotty. The second reason I wrote down, it always comes to me is this. People think that it's too late. They
Wow.
think they're too old. They think it's past their prime. They think it's it's beyond them, right?
Yeah.
It's the easiest excuse to make, right? Unless your dream was to
Cop
invent,
out. That's a cop out,
it's a
man.
well, yeah. Unless your dream was to invent like the electric toothbrush, then everything else is still
Nah,
game
no,
on,
no.
right?
If your dream is to win the dunk contest, then yeah, you might be too. You might be
So,
too.
the world is filled with uh numerous stories of people at all ages finding a way for their passions to create the lifestyle that they ultimately desire. Look at Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is 137 years old, for God's sakes, and he's still doing movies. He didn't get started doing movies till he was 89. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
It's one of those things where you say you got to say, all right, what is what is too late? Is there such thing as too late? You know, we had the golly. I mean, who else? Everybody knows somebody that got on all out of the blue, made their money and kept rolling. Remember the homeless guy that had the voice that sounded like had the radio voice? He was homeless in
Yeah.
California and got on and made a whole life for himself off of his voice, off of
Look
some
at
random, YouTube or video.
KJ,
Crazy.
look at the latest. Look at the latest boxing phenomenon. Let's talk about Terrence Crawford.
Dude.
Terrence Crawford had to go through all types of like hurdles just to get these title shots and these big time fights. He's 35 years old.
Yep.
he's already fought countless professional fights, and he just got the opportunity to beat Errol Spence and become a unified champion. And all that's at 35. Like,
Mhm.
he's been fighting since he was a kid. And and that just tells you, man, it's never too late. Like, why are you not doing what you want to do?
Well,
Like,
that's it.
why are you
These
not?
the basic reason is all these are just these are excuses on why we think we should no longer push towards them. Now we're just going to live in conformity and just work that job and try to keep working that job and until we get more money, until we get to, a nice enough house. And look, let me say this: there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. And I'm not saying that being whether you're average or above average, it doesn't matter. What I am more focused on in this conversation is about the things that you're passionate about and the things that you love doing. You can still have that great job and still carve out time to be passionate about the things that you love and the things that you love doing. You can work that great job and be in a group full of Harley Davidson riders. You can what's the other one? The Can-Am, every summer the spiders come out. You know what I'm saying? All the old heads pumping
See,
Frankie Beverly and Maze with
shots.
all the neon lights. Shout out to those Can-Ams that come out. The only reason you're doing that, you are the only reason you're doing not what you want to do. That's 100% correct.
Man, what does your boy Ray Lewis say, man? Effort was the battle between you and you,
Hmm.
and that's what it is, man. Like, sometimes we stand in the way of ourselves, and like, you just don't expect to come out on the other side to be able to do what you want to do, and you can. And
Yeah.
as Sal says, you can have a full-time job and date
You
fancy
can have a full-time job at Day Fancy. I don't know how much money you're gonna save, but
if you want to.
if you want to, I mean, Fancy's available. Apparently, she is available.
Hey, man, fancy's not for the light of heart.
The passionate love what you do, equals rewards, equals
Hey,
rewards. Look, we didn't. I didn't want this episode to be like we're not
all
preaching that
gushy,
or
man.
whatever the case may
That's
be.
all gushy and movie, mushy gushy, man.
We said we just talking real talk, right? So the last thing I want to talk about is, when we talk, we already said people say, it's no longer practical, it's too late. And the most one that I hear is I don't have everything that I need.
Excuses.
I don't have everything I need. That's the number one reason why
You know
most
what?
people say.
That one right there frustrates me the most
Why?
because because you can't possibly say that's your passion if you're gonna say I don't have what I need. Like, you really have to look at yourself and ask yourself, is this really is it really my passion? Because that's a full blown excuse, man. Like, you can't possibly make those excuses to stand in front of your way of being great. That is disgusting. Like, you don't have what you need. Like, what do you think about that?
No. The truth of the matter is, most people do that. They want to do videography. They think they need an $800 camera in order for them to be great at it. When you have an $800, camera lens in your phone, your Apple, or your Android, or whatever it is, they just don't think of it that way. They
Man,
always think
I
they
went
need
through a
more than what
phase.
they have.
I went through a phase like that because I had a whole bunch of stuff that my girl got me to support me for my media passion, and like, I have so many microphones and things that I'm not really using. And you look at it and you're like, damn, like, am I really doing what I need to be doing?
Hmm.
Because it kind of motivates me to be like, don't slow down because I'm not utilizing every single thing. But like, if I need it, I got it. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. Like, it might be tough for a lot of people to possibly afford some of those things, and that's different. Like, I'm not gonna bash people who can't afford things for like their passion or their goals, but just set up a plan. Like, I really was excited because I bought a book. I bought Kiara Monshow's book. We did an interview with her
Hmm.
a few months ago, and her book's phenomenal because it allows you to write out your business plan, and
Hmm.
like, it breaks it down to where it makes sense for you, and you'd be surprised how things can make sense when you put it down on paper and
Well,
like really like make a plan.
that's the thing about it. Most people think, most people have passions. They don't really write these things out. They don't really write them out in plans, and it makes a big difference when it's tactile and it's visual. When you write these things down and you make them plain, and you put them in front of you, because now they become a possibility, and the possibility can become a reality based on how much effort and energy you put towards achieving these goals. Now you've put it in front of yourself. Now you've put a timetable towards it, and now you have um, placed accountability in order for you to start moving toward it. And even if you don't hit the marks that you think you're supposed to hit or you set for yourself, you have the ability to push time ahead and set a different goal. And so the difference is, when you do those things and you take those small practices, you're actually going above and beyond what most people are doing, and staying consistent, holding yourself accountable, and making moves towards it. You're carving out that time, you're making time for the stuff that's important. And that's the only way that you're really going to achieve the success that you really want to see, and to get where you really want to go. And the truth is, you have everything you need to get started right now. You have everything you need to get started. Even if you want to be a chef, you don't have a kitchen, you know somebody with a house or an apartment who's got a kitchen, that if they believe in you enough, they will let you come and cook in their house. You have those avenues, you have those things. If you have a cell phone, again, the cell phone is the most amazing thing, amazing invention in mankind, because it gives you the entire world and access to it in the palm of your hands. You got kids making millions of dollars off of TikTok, off of Instagram, off of everything you can think of, using their cell phones and nothing more than that. And there's no reason why you should be able to wake up and say, I don't have everything that I need. Now, if you think you need time, then you need to reevaluate what you do, how you do it. You need to reevaluate, if I'm working 3 jobs right now and that's the only way I'm getting by, somewhere along the lines we got to figure some stuff out, because the 3 jobs ain't gonna last long, and two, your body ain't gonna hold out long enough long enough for it to keep pushing forward. So we just got to make the necessary adjustments to really start pushing towards what you want. And like, I know, like I said, I didn't want to make this a preaching episode. I just wanted to talk candidly about some of the things that not only you're dealing with, I'm dealing with, and this is just like an accountability episode for myself. So we're going to go back and watch this, right? We're going to go back and watch this 2 or 3 times and make sure that we hear this again, so that we know what we need to do and how we need to go pushing forward. So,
You know, I realized I was going through a time to where I did a lot about, oh, I'll do this tomorrow. Like I was
mhm.
pushing a lot to tomorrow. Like, oh, I'll knock it out tomorrow, or I'll edit the video tomorrow. And I was just like, how many times am I going to take today for granted? You know what I'm saying? Like, not to get too deep, but you can't keep pushing everything off to tomorrow. Like, take advantage of your opportunity when you have it in front of you, and just keep going. Like I said, if it's content, record your content. If it's an art, keep on, producing your art. Like, you gotta definitely put it out there, because this is the time to do it. You have free outlets, you have platforms. I'm blessed to be able to communicate and do podcasts and shows with so many people that I like and enjoy. And it's a blessing, man. 20 years ago, we didn't have this technology.
Hell
And
no.
next week, we'll have the opportunity to do a whole show with Enough Said.
Ah,
And it's exciting, man. It's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm going to tell you guys what, as long as we, wake up and have that opportunity, you're going to see episode 87, 88, and we're going to keep going. And ADU will be here, and hopefully more people will join us, because, it's a great time.
yeah, look, tell them where they can find us, my guy. Mama Bears in the building.
We love you, man. Look, come through, find us on YouTube when we go live, on Facebook when we go live. You can hit us up anytime at our email at alldresseduppodcast@gmail.com. The Instagram channel is jumping. We're always on Instagram daily, so please check us out. Follow us on Instagram. But like our videos, share our videos, so we can keep doing what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? We're here for you guys. Have Streams Media is definitely loading some content. K Dizzle DC, I know you got some shit coming. And we love you guys, man. We'll see you next time. What's good, K Dizzle?
Hey, like I said, make sure you taking the time out to do what you love. Feed your soul. Work is work, family is family, but you got to have some peace and some passion within yourself, and just make sure you take care of yourself first and foremost. Protect your peace. Shadi, I appreciate you, man.
Sir, thank
Keep
you, sir.
pushing and doing what you do best. And just make sure that you love yourself. There's too much craziness in the world that's going on for you to not be doing what you love and actually spending some time with that within yourself. So time is short. You only get one life. Make sure you live it to the fullest. And we'll see y'all next week with Enough Said podcast on some major football work. We
Yeah,
love y'all. We check y'all, man.
it's that time of the year.
You know it, baby. Peace.
And you know, and I know, and they know, and we know, we go all in, you know, and I know, and they know.